current problems in infrastructure, lack of coordination between different ministries, departments. Most of the government ministries work in silos without adequate coordination with other agencies. For example, once a road is constructed, other agencies dug up the constructed road again for activity like laying of underground cable, gas pipelines, etc. Time and cost overrun. According to Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, 1 out of every 5 infrastructure project has a delay of over 5 years. Further delay in execution of projects has led to increase in cost by almost 4.5 lakh crore, amounting to 80% of our capital expenditure in 2021-2022. Huge difference between macro planning and micro implementation. Different departments are not even aware which department is preparing to start which project and where. Similarly, the private sector is also not aware about the new infrastructure project being implemented and executed. Prior idea about such infrastructure project can lead to higher private sector investment. Now, this is all about the current problem which we are facing in the infrastructure sector and has been recently in news. Now we came up to what the initiative has been taken by our government has called as Prime Minister Gati Sakti scheme. PM Gati Sakti is supposed to break departmental silos and institutionalize holistic planning for stakeholders across major infrastructure projects. The PM Gati Sakti is supposed to break departmental silos and institutionalize holistic planning for stakeholders across major infrastructure projects. The PM Gati Sakti will ensure that India of the 21st century does not waste money or time due to lack of coordination in infrastructure projects. Under the PM Gati Sakti National Master Plan, everything from road to railways, from aviation to agriculture, various ministries and departments would be linked. So here's the main characteristics of PM Gati Sakti Yojana as follow. National Master Plan for Multinodal Connectivity seeks to bring 16 ministries together for integrated planning, design and execution of infrastructure project, monitor project worth rupees 100 lakh crores, incorporated the infrastructure scheme of various ministries and state governments like Bharatmala, Sagarmala, Udan, etc. Economic zones like manufacturing clusters, defense corridor, electronic park, industrial corridor, fishing clusters, agri zones will be covered to improve connectivity and make Indian businesses more competitive. Leverage technology including spatial planning tools with ISRO, imaginary developed by Big Sag and Bhaskaracharya National Institute for Space Applications and Geoinformatics. Note, an empowered group of secretaries headed by Cabinet Secretary will be formed to review and monitor the implementation of PM Gati Sakti. And this is so confirms the implementation of scheme. The Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade DPIIT will be the nodal ministry for this sake. Now the question arises is how Gati Sakti different from National Infrastructure Pipeline, which has been recently in news. Under the National Infrastructure Pipeline, the government has identified infrastructure project worth rupees 111 lakh crore, which it will be constructing in the 5-year between 2021 to 2025. The implementation of National Infrastructure Pipeline NIP requires coordination and integrated planning between multiple ministries and departments. Such an integrated and holistic approach to infrastructure creation would be provided through the Gati Sakti. Now we will focus on the 6 pillars of the Gati Sakti. The first in the row is comprehensiveness, one centralized portal for all initiatives. Provide details, all the infrastructure projects for better planning, design and execution of the project. Next in row is prioritization, cross-sectional interaction for prioritization of project. as if which project is of more priority at a given period of time or which we can delay for near future. For example, laying of underground pipeline would be necessary before construction of roads. So, the project of laying underground pipeline is prioritized before the project which leads to construction of roads. Next is optimization, identification of critical gaps in project planning. For example, if a fertilizer plant has to be constructed, necessary gas pipeline would have to be built. Next in row is synchronization, ensuring coordination of work between multiple departments and sync them appropriately. Next is analytical tool, use of analytical tool to provide all the approval through a single window system. For example, common drawing approval system of Indian Railways provide all the approval through single portal. And the sixth and the last one is dynamic, closely linked to project to be executed together, save time and money. As example, we can consider the construction of national highways would be accompanied by laying down of optical fibers, telephones and power cables. Now what's the benefit in this integration of multimodal project? As per we say PM Gati Sakti scheme, virtuous cycle of higher capital expenditure. If we invest higher capital expenditure, multiplier effect would come in scenario approximately 2.5 times, which leads to increase in demand, increase in supply. If demand increases, obviously the manufacturer would lead to increase in supply side of all the raw materials and required things, which led to higher consumption expenditure, higher investment expenditure again, and that will lead to crowd in private investment, higher GDP growth and employment, higher debt, sustainability, and if all this work together, it will again lead to higher capital expenditure. The PM Gati Sakti would provide to Gati, speed and Shakti, power for creation of infrastructure in India. It would provide fillip to manufacturing sector, reduce logistic cost and enhance export from India, and hence critical to ensure vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Now what's the benefit from this scheme? Local multiplier effect, as we had discussed it few minutes ago. In India, the capital expenditure multiplier is around 2.45, while the revenue expenditure multiplier is 0.99. This is according to RBI's bulletin of December 2020. Thus, for a rupee 1 crore increase in capital expenditure, GDP increased by rupees 2.45 crores, where as if there is a 1 crore increase in revenue expenditure, the GDP increases only by rupees 0.99 crore. Hence, capital expenditure has the potential to revive both demand and supply, leading to expeditious economic recovery and creation of more employment opportunities. Next is enhanced income level of farmer. PM Gati Sakti would help us in integrating rural economy with rest of India through road, railway, ports, airports, digital infrastructure, etc. Such integration would reduce post-harvest losses, streamlining agriculture supply chain, ensure success of ENAM and boost export. It also leads to reduce in logistic cost. The logistic cost account for around 12 to 14% of India's GDP, which is quite higher as compared to 8 to 10% in other economies. The higher logistic cost reduce the competitiveness of manufacturing sector, reduce our exports, and hence critical to ensure $5 trillion economy. Promote industrial development. This will also promote industrial development. Provide multimodal connectivity to economic zones like manufacturing clusters, defense corridor, electronic parks, industrial corridor, etc. Ensure efficient implementation of infrastructure projects. Promote inter-ministerial and interdepartmental coordination and hence reduce time and cost overrun and improve ease of living for the people. To sum up, PM Gati Sakti plan will break inter-ministerial silos enhance India's global competitiveness through next generation infrastructure and seamless multimodal connectivity, ensure seamless movement of goods and people, and enhance the ease of living as well as the ease of doing businesses. And that's all in a limited budget and limited financial investment. And that would be very critical for India at this point of time, where our different ministries and departments never sync with each other and thus fail to comprehend different projects and schemes and to synchronize them, and that will lead to a higher financial burden for us. So thanks for now. For more such informative topics, stay connected, stay tuned. Thank you.